Mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome you back to episode 69 of season 5 of the Roll Up Podcast. As always, as I like to kick off every episode, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all for y'all continuous support. Y'all been locked in since day one this year, and I really appreciate that. It's some new, exciting, riveting content that's getting ready to be dropped on the channel, so make sure y'all stay locked into the movement as well. It's going to make the mission come full circle, and the big reveal is coming sooner than later. But before I run my mouth and spill the beans, you know we got to handle some business first. Before we dive into the new content, I want to extend an invitation to all who haven't done so already to be sure to subscribe to the campaign on all major platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Be sure to drop a subscribe to show the campaign some love. The goal for 2025 is to amass 100,000 subs on all major platforms. So if you're really feeling inspired and supportive, feel free to share this content with the homies. Also, feel free to check out tsbe.org. That's the official website of the Roll Up Podcast. And I will be starting a monthly newsletter at the top of the year to receive updates on the progress of these new endeavors. I'll also be firing up the Gaspack Only Club music site that's now a part of tsbe.org. So a part of that monthly newsletter, not only will you be getting information on the podcast, I will also be sending you some nice underground artists covering all genres. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that as well. Be sure to follow the campaign on social media at the Roll Up Podcast, and be sure to be on the lookout for the visual components that's getting ready to be added to the Sauce Brady experience on YouTube. The Season 5 merch collection is available right now for a few more weeks. It's be officially over with on December 31st, and then Season 6 collection goes live on January 1st, 2025. So it's hoodie season. Make sure you grab you some hoodies, some sweatshirts, some sweatpants, the whole giddy up, and be on the lookout for this new that's getting ready to drop on January 1st. If you haven't noticed, as the seasons progress, so does the merch. This season 6 collection, hands down, one of the best merch drops I've ever put together. So make sure y'all be on the lookout for that new as well. Now that we got that taken care of, let's dive into today's conversation. Legend has it that in the early 90s, the Michigan Wolverines were the team to beat in the Big Ten. Led by head coach Lloyd Carr and former Heisman winner Charles Woodson, the Wolverines seemed to have the best 53-man roster in D1 athletics. But it wasn't until 1999 that one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever toss a football began one of the most challenging and inspiring stories in the history of the sport. Standing at a lanky 6'4", barely 211 pounds, Tom Brady entered the NFL draft. With the 40-yard dash timed over 5 seconds, and ESPN analysts discrediting every attribute that they praise now, it looked like Brady was just another quarterback who had a brief glimpse of glory, but would soon trade the big skin dream to return home as an average Joe. But on the last day of the NFL draft in April of 2000, with the 199th pick in the 6th round, the New England Patriots drafted Tom Brady. Granted, Drew Bledsoe was a quarterback at the time and had led the team to the playoffs with a pair of Pro Bowl visits. The only person that was prepared for September 23rd, 2001 was Tom Brady. Bledsoe goes down with a torn ACL with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And in that moment, the 5-second 40-yard dash, last pick of the last round, checks into the game, and then proceeds to have one of the best careers in the league's history. Many valuable lessons can be learned from the resilience and persistence of Tom Brady. He could have easily been defeated at Michigan and let his scout report dictate who he was as a quarterback. But instead, he buckled his chin strap and drove the hammer of persistence to achieve one of the greatest personal feats the game has ever seen. I can ramble on and on about this topic, but the moral of the story is this. The last few years of my life, they've made little to no sense. From leaving my job with no notice, a brief stint of being homeless, relocating, rebuilding, then relocating, and then rebuilding again, and then having kids and relocating and rebuilding again. A ton of mistakes, right and wrongs, this, that, and the third, blase, blase, blase. A lot of stuff has happened in these last couple of years. But through all of that, I channeled my inner Tom Brady, and I still mustered the strength to keep going. Is it easy? Absolutely not. But every day I lock in because I know when I get to where I'm going, I will be able to take care of everything that needs to be handled. But to get back on topic, this year was labeled the comeback season for a reason. You may be bouncing back from a financial low, a spiritual low. You may be battling insecurities. You may be leaving abusive relationships. You may be turning away from self-destructive habits, and etc. This season is important because this is the pivotal point in our life where we dig our heels in the ground and we take a stand. We take a stand for who we are and what we do. As I've said before, there's a few weeks left in 2024. If you haven't done anything all year to put you closer to your goals, right now is the perfect time to do so. As we can see from TB12's career, the comeback is possible. No matter how many points you're losing by, you may be at rock bottom, you may be looking up the side of a huge mountain and the peak is in the clouds. Don't worry about how far you have to go, and just start today and take it one play at a time. It's going to be one hell of a climb to the top, but when you get to where you're going, you will be grateful for taking that leap when you took it. All that I've been through these past few years are all boiling down to the moments that I'm in right now. These same mindset hacks that I give in this podcast, I implement in my daily life. We're going to talk about, we're going to go into in-depth conversation about the adversities that I faced in this upcoming season. But trust when I tell you, it's been no easy task completing these episodes. If I waited until I had the right equipment, the space to record that quote-unquote perfect moment, I'll still be at episode 0. To go back to what we talked about in the last episode, when we think about the current brands that we look up to today, they all have started at the place where we are now. Coca-Cola was a drink that you can only buy at a pharmacy. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage. Steve Jobs started Apple in his garage. Howard Schultz was once called out by his father-in-law about selling coffee not being a quote-unquote real gig. Now Starbucks is one of the top coffee chains in the world. They told Tom Brady that he couldn't throw, he was slow, he lacked accuracy, but guess what he did? He went on to win 7 Super Bowl rings. What do all these people have in common with us? It's simple. The moment they surrendered to the process and became one with the process, they achieved their goals. This moment of adversity that you face is signaling you to surrender to the process and become the person that you need to be to achieve your goals. The moment we surrender the need to be in control of every aspect of our journey, the more we can put the consistency towards our goals. By upgrading the belief we have in ourselves, we forge our way through self-validation. Again, everybody won't see the vision. Everybody won't understand the sacrifice. But one thing that's guaranteed is that if you stick with the campaign and continue to be intentional in your work, what's for you will come to you at its appointed time. As we close out 2024, let's think about why we are doing what we're doing. Let's validate ourselves by being consistent in our efforts. Let's let our wins do the talking while our actions help us do the walking. As I say in every episode, I believe in you. I believe that you can achieve greater goals. I believe that you can overcome the adversities you face. But at the end of the day, it's on you to see the mission through. So with that being said, that concludes today's episode. I hope something was said that encourages you to make today the day that you commit to the process. If you've enjoyed the episode today, be sure to drop a like, comment, and share it with the homies. Be sure to check out tsbe.org and subscribe to that monthly newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to the Sauce Brady Experience on YouTube as well. We will also be taking the campaign visual in the next season, so make sure you get your seat early by subscribing to the campaign. Also, be sure to check out the Sauce Factory and the spot to grab you some merch. And as always, man, twist that shit up. Get lifted, stay inspired. It's your boy. Peace.